There's been some press recently. Last week, you came out and you said you were critical of Saturday Night Live, where you used to work, for booking Trump to host the show while he was campaigning for president. You thought that was a mistake.
In retrospect, for me, and it's mostly about just my personal experience with it and how I feel about it. I think as time goes on and our current president kind of reveals his character or lack thereof, I personally have a hard time of having been involved in an endorsement of that. You know, it's not necessarily a critique of the show, but boy, it's really hard to have played a part in sort of encouraging, or not even encouraging, but just offering a platform and promoting for someone who I find I'm constantly disappointed in.
You know, I had one, I worked at Saturday Night Live a long time ago. And in those days, but I've heard it's still the same, the writers would sometimes go out with the host of the show and the producer to have dinner. And I'm told that you, writers and performers would go, that you went on that dinner, you went to dinner with Trump the week that he did Saturday Night Live.
That's right, yeah. There's a host dinner and some of the cast and writers are invited. And it was tense, and but I will say, specifically to Lauren's credit, if he has someone hosting, they're a guest in our house.
Yeah,
kind of how he puts it.
That's Lauren's attitude, and I think I think that's the right attitude.
I agree, and I admire him for that. But it was a tricky one, and again, upon reflection and just my personal experience with it, he said something at that host dinner that I found at the time shocking, and now more so, where they were talking about, yeah, you're running for president. What a big thing to take on. He's like, you know, listen, if I don't win this thing, I'm going to be fine. We just bought this huge property in Scotland. If I have to be president, I'm never going to see that thing. I know.
What a weird...
Guys, I know.
Yeah.
The priorities were off.
So you're saying that right now, as president and leader of the free world, he's constantly thinking about, I've got to get to my effing place in Scotland.
And by the way, like, when hasn't he been golfing? Well, of course he's found the time to get there. Anyway.
Well, that's passed, and, you know, I don't, you know, who knows? I don't think Saturday Night Live swayed the election necessarily.
I don't either.
Wait a minute. Yes, it did.
Okay.